Tapes. Why you should use them? The answer is quite simple. We use tapes on our cello to train the spaces, not the places, for the fingers. What I mean by this is we don't have a fret and we don't have a key that dictates where our finger goes. We must remember where to put the fingers by remembering the spaces, not the places. This space is memorized. Over time, you create a form with the hand, and this creation of a form is aided, especially for beginners, by these wonderful things we have here called tapes. Now, not all tapes are alike, and in this video, I'm going to share with you the main reason why you should use tapes and where you should get these wonderful tapes from and what they are. So let's first talk about the elephant in the room. Should you or should you not use your tapes? Some of you have maybe had teachers that are completely against the use of tapes. And to that, I say, I'm sorry, especially if you're a beginner. And this is the reason why. For many years of my life, I have taken students to my studio who have come from teachers who refuse to use tapes. And guess what? All of them have bad intonation. Every single one of my beginning students that have used tapes always have better intonation from those students who think they can develop an ear. Not all of us have perfect pitch. I have pretty good pitch, but I don't even think that is perfect. And so I suggest that you rely on the wonderful tools that we have today in order to get that ear more attenuated to a better cello intonation. So now that we've discussed and addressed the elephant in the room, simply put, tapes are better always for beginners in all circumstances. Let's then talk about the reason what these tapes do. Well, when you learn a new skill, think about the last time you rode your bicycle as a child, you have something to aid you in your development riding the bicycle, those training wheels. Which brings me to my own personal story about a new skill that I am learning. Lately, I've been learning with my wife how to disco dance on roller skates. Now, I love roller skates and maybe you do too, but here's one thing I want to bring your attention to, the stopper on the front. This is something that you are probably familiar with. It's a standard stopper, but in order to disco dance properly on skates, this stopper will hinder your movements. So you have to install one of these. This is basically a really tiny knot stopper. Then again, I need this because I'm new at roller skating. I still don't have the confidence enough to completely remove it and go, well, no stopper. And this is what I'm talking about with tapes. Eventually one day, your skill on cello will become better. Let me put these away. Eventually one day on your cello, your skill will increase that you don't need tapes and you may be able to play like this. But for now, you're probably going to need it if you don't have that perfect intonation. That's a perfect octave. I know it because I've played it for over 30 years of my life. If you don't have that, see, I'm already forming the shape because it's so natural when my hand touches. I am in the first position. It's just something natural that happens. That is a skill, a competence that you will learn one day. So put your tapes on your cello. Check out this video right here or this video right here. I have 2 videos about putting tapes on your cello. It's super easy. You can use my intonation app you can download from Google Play. It's made by cellists for cellists, and you can learn how to put tapes on your cello. So let's talk about the last bit of information. What type of tapes you should use. And this is a very important part, so please don't skip ahead. Don't use something like this, painting tape. Don't use something like this, masking tape or scotch tape. Don't use something like this, electric tape. They're all terrible solutions. There are only 2 solutions that you should consider. First, the secondary solution, which was brought to my attention by one of my Japanese students. These things, these are tiny little spots that you can put on your cello. They come in different colors, and you can find them really in any Japanese stationery store. I find these to be quite wonderful. Sometimes if you need a temporary little spot and you don't want to put a full tape on, these are actually really good for that. They come in different colors and they easily fall off. That's another thing. They're very, very temporary. So if you want something that's temporary fix, then suggest that you get some of these. I'll leave a link in the description below as to how you can find these because the packaging is completely in Japanese. It's for marking different things like a baseball bat, a pencil, and cleaning supplies. So any Japanese stationery store, if you can find one. And I will leave a link in the description below if you're interested in obtaining these. But my number one choice for cellists in any place in the world is artistic graphic tape. Art Deco tape. Now this is a really good solution. They come in different thicknesses. This is the about 2.5 millimeter, 1/8 of an inch thickness. And it's from a company called Chartpac. Chartpac originally started out as artistic graphic tape for those that were designing newspapers. In order to put that black border around an advertisement in a newspaper, they would actually print it out on paper, lay it out on a master sheet, and use these little bits of graphic artist tape in order to make those borders. Here you can have different colors. I will leave a link in the description below to get one of these. It's a package of 6 colors, and you can even get a matte black one. And I have installed these on some of my cellists that were lacking in full confidence, and even sometimes put it on my own cello when I'm learning a new song or a new etude that I just don't want to waste all my time searching for the notes. I placed 1 or 2 tapes on there on those essential notes, and it helped out so much. So get the matte black in 1/8 of an inch or 2.5 millimeters, or you can get some of these glossy, wonderful colors as well. Everything's linked in the description below. It's called Chartpac, and let me tell you, I have never had a student come to me after I put on tapes and say, this has made my cello playing worse. That just doesn't happen. What does happen with tapes is that eventually you may have a little buzz against the tape. You may have some other sensations. You may even become dependent upon it. That would be a time that you may consider removing it because I think you've grown out of it and your skill has too. Thank you for watching. Please check out these Chartpac tapes. They're going to save your life and save you so much trouble. Just like those stoppers on my roller skates save my elbows and my knees. These will save your ears. Thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. And stick around a while. I think you're going to learn a lot.